crying because she said, I worked so hard and I can't hear any of the commencement speakers because of the chanting that is pro-Hamas.
It was a moment no one saw coming. Dana Perino, the poised and self-assured Fox News anchor, breaking down in tears live on television. What led to this unexpected emotional breakdown? And what does it reveal about the immense pressures she was facing? Stick with us as we uncover the untold story behind this unforgettable TV moment that shocked viewers and changed the narrative forever. From a cattle ranch in Wyoming to the world's most powerful podium at the White House, Dana Perino's rise is nothing short of remarkable. It wasn't just ambition that propelled her to the top. It was sheer determination, fierce perseverance, and a relentless drive to succeed. But her story is more than one of career triumphs. It's about overcoming adversity, embracing the struggle, and ultimately becoming the second woman, and the first Republican woman, to serve as White House press secretary. Dana Marie Perino was born in Evanston, Wyoming, but grew up in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado, where she learned the value of hard work and self-reliance. Her childhood wasn't filled with luxury, but instead, it was defined by blue skies, wide-open ranchlands, and the strong work ethic of her close-knit, working-class family. Her father, Leo Perino, started as a janitor before working his way up to become a salesman, and her mother, Janice, focused on raising Dana and her sister. One of Dana's earliest role models was her maternal grandfather, a cattle rancher whose tireless work ethic left a deep impression. It was in this environment that I learned to value hard work more than appearances, Dana reflected. Her family prioritized discipline, manners, and most importantly, public speaking, skills that would become the foundation of Dana's unshakable confidence. Even as a young girl, Dana's intellectual curiosity and ambition were apparent. My dad used to have me read newspaper articles out loud every night and then discuss them with him, Dana recalled. That's where I learned how to think critically and how to form and defend my opinions. Although she didn't realize it at the time, this routine helped cultivate her natural ability to speak with conviction. Her father also had her practice President Reagan's speeches in front of the mirror, joking that it was her unofficial training. Though the Perino family wasn't politically connected, Dana's early fascination with public affairs was undeniable. She was constantly glued to the news, not just to learn, but to understand the complex decisions behind world events. Dana's admiration for powerful public figures like Margaret Thatcher and Barbara Bush shaped her own leadership style, strong, authoritative, yet warm and compassionate. By high school, Dana had a clear vision. She wanted to work in media or government, and possibly both. She was a natural in debate, communications, and Spanish, and loved the challenge of public speaking. But her journey had just begun. Dana attended Colorado State University Pueblo, where she majored in mass communications and minored in political science and Spanish. Juggling multiple jobs, including waiting tables and working the graveyard shift as a DJ at a country music station, Dana learned some of her most valuable lessons in perseverance and human connection. Working those late-night hours was tough, Dana said, but it taught me how to connect with people, even when I was half asleep, and the importance of consistency and preparation, even when no one is watching. Her big break came with a role on Capital Journal, a PBS-affiliated political show. Though it was modest work, it sparked her interest in Washington, D.C., and honed her ability to think quickly on her feet. After earning a master's degree in public affairs reporting from the University of Illinois at Springfield, Dana worked as a daily reporter covering Illinois politics for WCIA. By the late 1990s, Dana was in Washington, D.C., starting as a staff assistant for Congressman Scott McInnes. She later became press secretary for Congressman Dan Schaefer, where she learned the fine art of crafting compelling messaging under pressure. After a brief hiatus outside of politics with a top public affairs firm, Dana returned to the political world, joining the White House Council on Environmental Quality under President George W. Bush. It was here that Dana's calm demeanor, sharp instincts, and meticulous preparation truly began to shine, setting her on the path to an extraordinary career. When you work in the White House, it's not about you. It's about serving something greater, Dana Perino shared during a powerful speech at George Washington University. I learned to speak for the presidency, not for myself. That's a big responsibility. In 2007, Dana was appointed White House press secretary by President George W. Bush, making history as the second woman to hold the position, and the first Republican woman to do so. But Dana's journey was never just about her own success. Throughout her career, Dana has remained committed to helping others rise. In 2009, she co-founded Minute Mentoring, a program designed to offer quick, impactful career advice to young women. Despite her demanding schedule, balancing on-air duties and book deadlines, Dana made time to mentor and speak publicly, always encouraging others to follow their passion, even if it meant taking a different path than expected. Dana Perino isn't just a woman who climbed the ranks. she's one who never stops evolving. But what hidden talent did she uncover along the way, and how did it fuel yet another chapter of her success? Let's dive into the story of her self-discovery. Unlike many political figures who simply lend their names to ghostwritten works, Dana's writing comes from a place of authenticity and genuine personal reflection. For Dana, writing wasn't just a side project, it became a platform for influence, inspiration, and self-expression. Her love for writing didn't appear overnight. It had been simmering beneath the surface for years. Whether in speeches, press briefings, or private journal entries, the desire to write was always there. But it wasn't until after leaving the White House and transitioning into journalism that Dana realized she had more to say. Stories and lessons that simply couldn't be condensed into a television segment began to surface. Writing offered Dana the space and freedom to dive deeper into her thoughts. Her first book, And the Good News Is, Lessons and Advice from the Bright Side, published in 2015, was a breakout success. A mix of memoir and self-help, the book traces her journey from a small-town girl in Wyoming to the White House podium, offering honest reflections and invaluable life lessons. The tone is conversational, grounded, and deeply relatable, just like Dana herself. In interviews, Dana opened up about the emotional process of writing. "I wrote the entire thing by hand," she told the Washington Post. "There were times I cried while writing some of the memories, but it felt freeing." The book revealed sides of Dana that the public hadn't seen: her insecurities, her faith, her doubts, and, perhaps most importantly, her unshakable optimism. The overwhelming positive response to her first book wasn't just a validation of her writing. It proved that Dana had something meaningful to share with the world. Inspired by the success, she delved deeper into the art of storytelling. In 2016, Dana released Let Me Tell You About Jasper, a heartfelt book about her beloved Weimaraner, Jasper. What began as a passion project about her dog quickly evolved into a touching exploration of companionship, love, and finding joy in life's simple moments. Through her books, Dana has crafted a unique voice, honest yet kind, authoritative but warm. She has the rare ability to blend insight with empathy, leaving readers not just learning about her life but feeling uplifted about their own. Dana's ultimate goal in writing is clear: to help others see the bright side, even in the toughest of times. Her third book, Everything Will Be Okay, Life Lessons for Young Women, from a Former Young Woman, released in 2021, became an instant bestseller. With its mix of personal anecdotes, practical advice, and straightforward wisdom, the book resonates deeply with young women navigating the complexities of career, self-doubt, and relationships. "I wrote this book as if I was speaking directly to the 25-year-old version of myself," Dana shared during an appearance on Fox and AMP. Friends, what sets Dana apart as a writer is her intention. Every page of her work reflects her unwavering commitment to mentorship, empowerment, and authenticity. Dana isn't writing to elevate herself, she's writing to uplift others. Her advice feels more like a gentle nudge from a trusted friend than a lecture. And because she's lived through the intense pressures of political roles, public scrutiny, and personal trials, her insights carry undeniable weight. Behind the scenes, Dana often credits her husband, Peter McMahon, as her biggest source of support throughout the writing process. He read her drafts, offered encouragement, and reminded her of the importance of her voice. Their quiet life together, with Jasper the dog often curled up nearby, provided Dana with the emotional space she needed to write freely and authentically. For Dana, her journey into writing was about more than just publishing books. It was about discovering a new layer of herself. Through her writing, she created a space where politics, personal growth, and compassion could coexist, offering readers a rare blend of insight and heart. While standing at the podium in front of reporters from around the world, Dana was often asked not just about policy, but about her qualifications. But Dana never flinched. Her poise, clarity, and unflappable demeanor became trademarks of her briefings. Preparation was everything, Dana said in a Fox News interview. "I had a motto: never be surprised at the podium. I studied constantly and always tried to stay calm under pressure." She served as White House press secretary until the end of the Bush administration in 2009, earning national recognition for her professionalism and grace. Looking back, Dana describes her time in the White House as both humbling and exhilarating. "You never forget the weight of those walls," she shared with the Hudson Union Society. "Every decision, every word, it mattered, and being entrusted to communicate that was the honor of a lifetime." Her advice to young people aspiring to enter public service is both motivational and timeless. Say yes to every opportunity. Work hard, be kind, and never assume you're too small to make a difference. Dana's career as a poised and powerful press secretary was undeniable, but then, she made a career move that no one saw coming. She stepped away from Washington's spotlight and transitioned to a whole new stage. When Dana Perino walked away from the White House podium after serving as the 26th White House press secretary under President George W. Bush, many assumed her political career had reached its peak. She was one of only 2 women to ever hold the prestigious title, and the first Republican woman to do so. But what followed wasn't a quiet exit from public life. It was a dramatic reinvention. Perino didn't just change lanes, she built an entirely new highway. And it all began with a bold decision to transition from the intense world of political communications to the fast-paced realm of broadcast journalism. When the Bush administration ended, Dana found herself at a crossroads. In interviews, she admitted to having a "now what" moment. She still felt a deep passion for communication and public service, but she also sensed a shift. "I didn't think I wanted to stay in Washington. I had given all I could," she said, "but I wasn't ready to stop working." Rather than sticking to the traditional political circuit, Dana began exploring new opportunities that played to her strengths: storytelling, analysis, and connecting with people. As fate would have it, a familiar name from the world of conservative media extended an invitation that would change everything. Sean Hannity, one of Fox News' top hosts, invited Dana Perino to appear as a guest commentator on his show. What started as a one-time appearance quickly turned into regular segments. Hannity saw something unique in Perino: her ability to explain complex political issues in simple terms, her calm demeanor, and her authenticity on camera. But Hannity didn't stop at just inviting her back. He began encouraging Fox producers to consider Dana for more permanent roles. "He told everyone he thought I was different and that I should come on board," Dana shared in an interview. That internal support opened doors for more guest spots, eventually leading to the opportunity to guest host Fox and Friends, one of the network's most watched programs. It didn't take long for Dana Perino's career to be reborn, not in politics, but in media. In 2011, after Glenn Beck's departure, Fox News launched a new show, The Five, a roundtable-style discussion program that aired at 5 p.m. Dana was selected as one of the co-hosts. The show's format was unlike anything she'd done before. It wasn't about briefing reporters or representing the administration. It was about sharing her own views, raw, real, and unrehearsed. "For the first time, I wasn't speaking on behalf of someone else," Dana said. "I had to find my voice." It was both terrifying and freeing. Audiences quickly connected with Dana's unique blend of intellect, warmth, and candor. Whether discussing politics, policy, or sharing personal anecdotes about her dog Jasper, who even became the subject of her second book, Dana offered a refreshing perspective, grounded in experience but delivered with humility. Her transition wasn't just smooth, it was wildly successful. In addition to The Five, Dana co-anchored America's Newsroom and appeared regularly on other Fox News programs. Her presence helped usher in a new style of conservative commentary, less combative, more conversational. Much of her success in media, Dana credits to embracing change and taking risks. "You have to be willing to reinvent yourself," she once told a group of young professionals during a mentoring event. "You can't be afraid to take a different path, especially if your heart tells you it's the right one." And Dana didn't just adapt, she thrived. Viewers respected her insight, admired her professionalism, and saw her as a trusted voice in American media. Whether she's sharing lessons from the West Wing or recounting stories of Jasper's antics, Dana's writing resonates because it's rooted in real life. While Dana was busy building her career and uncovering hidden talents, she never lost sight of her personal life. And her love story, it's just as unique as her personality. Trust me, it's a twist you wouldn't expect. The year was 1997, and Dana Perino had taken a short break from the political grind, calling the political climate at the time pretty gross. While flying from Denver to Chicago, fate had a plan for her. As she settled into her seat on the plane, she glanced to her side and saw a man without a wedding ring, with a charming British accent and a kind smile. That man was Peter McMahon. Perino later shared with Yahoo Life that McMahon had noticed her even before they boarded. In an era before dating apps and social media connections, their meeting was pure serendipity. The connection between Dana and Peter was instant. Just 2 hours into the flight, they had already shared their life stories, dreams, and that undeniable spark. Sitting next to each other by chance. 2 hours later, we were in love, Dana recalled in an interview with Forbes, calling it love at first flight. She even referred to that magical encounter in her book Let Me Tell You About Jasper. But falling in love with someone from another country wasn't without its challenges. Peter McMahon was 18 years older than Dana, had been married twice, and had 2 children from a previous relationship. On paper, it might have seemed like a risk, but for Dana, love didn't follow logic, it followed feeling. And that feeling was undeniable. Dana made the bold decision to pursue the relationship, flying to England to be with Peter and understand the life of the man she had fallen for. In interviews, Dana often laughs about how her friends were skeptical, jokingly asking if she was sure he wasn't an axe murderer. But Dana trusted her instincts, and that leap of faith paid off. Not only did she fall deeper in love with Peter, but she also embraced the beauty of starting a life together beyond her familiar American world. They navigated different cultures, learning from each other and building a foundation of mutual respect. They married in 1998, just 1 year after meeting. Over 2 decades later, Dana still credits Peter as her rock. While he never sought the spotlight, he was the one holding things together behind the scenes, especially as Dana's career soared and she became White House press secretary under President George W. Bush. Peter never saw Dana's ambition as a threat. He encouraged it. While Dana worked long hours, often under immense pressure, Peter took care of their home life, cheering her on from the sidelines. Dana once told the Hudson Union Society, "Choosing to be loved is not a career-limiting decision," highlighting how Peter always supported her dreams. Peter even suggested moving across the country or the world, if it meant helping Dana's career. He believed in her more than anyone else. In a world where many ambitious women struggle to balance their careers and marriages, Dana found a partner who made it possible to have both. Though they don't have children together, Dana embraced Peter's children from his previous marriage, and they've built a tight-knit family filled with love, respect, and laughter. Share their home with their beloved dogs, Jasper and later Percy, both of whom Dana often referred to as her co-workers in her books. Their relationship isn't just heartwarming, it's inspiring. In a political world filled with drama and scandal, Dana and Peter have managed to keep their love story quiet, simple, and steady. Dana often shares sweet photos and snippets of their life on social media, always with humor and humility. You might think Dana Perino's life has been smooth and perfect, but behind her success, there have been challenges and controversies that you wouldn't expect. One of the most unforgettable moments of Dana Perino's tenure as White House press secretary occurred during the infamous shoe-throwing incident in Baghdad in 2008. During a press conference, an Iraqi journalist threw his shoes at President George W. Bush, a shocking event that made headlines around the world. Dana, right there in the middle of the chaos, was struck by the boom mic as the Secret Service rushed in to protect the president. Recalling the incident in an NPR interview, Dana explained, "I had just said to my colleague, look at all these Iraqi reporters. This is amazing. They never thought when they were little kids that they would grow up to be journalists and have the chance to ask their leader a question, let alone the leader of the free world." But things quickly took a turn for the worse. Suddenly, a shoe flew through the air, and then another one followed. Despite the chaos, Dana kept her professionalism intact. The incident was surreal, but it showed the dangers and the reality of the work we were doing. Though she was struck in the eye by the microphone, Dana remained composed and focused on the safety of the president. "It was a very intense moment," she said. "And though I was injured, my first concern was for the safety of the president and those around me." The shoe-throwing incident, while shocking, became a defining moment in her career. During her time as press secretary, Dana often found herself defending the Bush administration against heavy criticism, especially surrounding the Iraq War and the handling of Hurricane Katrina. As public disillusionment with the administration grew, so did the scrutiny on Dana's role in communicating its policies. But despite the difficult situations, Dana never backed down from her responsibilities. In a 2013 interview with Cosmopolitan, Dana reflected on how she managed the constant criticism. Dana Perino's career has been marked by resilience in the face of constant criticism. As White House press secretary, she maintained professionalism under intense scrutiny, often defending the administration while balancing the truth, even when uncomfortable. "You have to have thick skin," she once said about the job. After transitioning to Fox News, Dana faced new challenges, particularly her commentary on controversial topics. One notable moment came when she made a remark about the #MeToo movement that was criticized as insensitive. She quickly apologized, acknowledging she hadn't framed the issue well and stressing the importance of honest conversations. Dana also faced a public slip-up on The Five, where she accidentally revealed confidential information live on air. While critics called her unprofessional, Dana owned her mistake with grace, saying, "I made a mistake. That's part of the job." This moment revealed her integrity and commitment to learning from every experience. Despite working hard to prove herself, Dana was often criticized for being the product of political favoritism or her appearance. In a tearful interview, she passionately defended her career, saying, "I'm here because of my work, my knowledge, and my commitment." Dana's story is one of perseverance, humility, and unwavering dedication, even when faced with controversy and public doubt. What do you think? Is Dana Perino's success due to hard work or political connections? Share your thoughts in the comments.